boys are back, and they're getting ready for the Houston Texans. What is up, Finn fans? Miami Dolphins are back at practice, getting ready to take on the Houston Texans. I got a little tidbits, as you guys like to enjoy, little notes here and there. I am going to talk about Byron Jones. A lot of you guys asked. I talked about it in a live stream, but I thought, let me reiterate it in a video, being that the live streams are super long, and some people are like, I'm not sitting through an hour of you rambling and being dumb. So, yeah, we'll give you a little tidbit, some notes on practice. Some guys are working in different positions. There's Austin Jackson. There's all these guys. We'll get into all that stuff. But before we jump into all that good stuff, I got to shout out today's sponsor, Manscape.com. Manscape.com is getting ready for the holiday season with their new Perfect Package 4.0. The perfect gift for him, either your dad, your boyfriend, your brother, any man that likes to keep himself maintained. It comes with the Lawnmower 4.0. You guys already know about the Lawnmower 4.0. Stainless steel with the light, skin-safe technology, fantastic trimmer. Use it all the time on my face, my chest. I'm a hairy man. Lawnmower 4.0. You also get the Crop Preserver and Reviver. That's for your downstairs bonanza. You get the Weed Whacker, which is fantastic for your nose. No one prepares you when you're a child, you're getting older, that you're going to have a ton of nose and ear hairs. Well, you know who did? Manscaped with the Weed Whacker. And then they only do trimming and deodorant and shampoos and lotions and all that stuff. Now they incorporated the Shears 2.0 luxury 6-piece nail kit. Stainless steel. You get to clip your nails, take care of the hands, the nails. Women, you tell your man how much you like when their hands are maintained. They don't look all raggedy like me because I bite my nails. You get all that stuff plus free shipping, 2 gifts in the bag and the briefs, and 20% off if you use the promo code DDW. So go check out manscape.com, Perfect Package 4.0. Use the promo code DDW. Get yourself 20% off, free shipping, and 2 free gifts. So some things that I want to talk about real quick, right? Barry Jackson came out with a fantastic article. You guys know how much I like Barry Jackson and his articles. He's really in-depth and analytic. Yeah, that's the word I want to use. In his articles, one of the things he talked about is the difference between last year's team and this year's team, especially when it comes to PFF grades, right? Last year, the Dolphins only had 2 players to finish in the top 20 at their position, and tackle Zach Sealer, who was 3rd among interior defensive linemen, and Christian Wilkins, who was 6th in the same category. Now, that's not bad. This year, the Dolphins have about 20 players. There's a lot. There's a lot in the top 20, right? We're going to run them down. You know, Tua Tagovailoa was 1st among quarterbacks. Tyreek Hill 1st among wide receivers. Jalen Waddle 7th among wide receivers. Alec Ingold is 2nd among fullbacks behind Patrick Ricard. So Alec Ingold's doing better than Juszczyk. I probably pronounced his name wrong. It's going to piss some of you guys off. Connor Williams is 5th among centers. Robert Hunt is 6th among guards. Teron Armstead is 14th among offensive tackles. Jalen Phillips is 16th among edge rushers, but some of you guys think he's a bust. Very small amount of you guys think he's a bust, and keep asking me, where is he? He's all over the field. Duke Riley is 14th among linebackers, and Kader Kohu is 14th among cornerbacks. Like, you kidding me right now? The Dolphins have a really good team right now. So I thought I'd bring that up because to show the night and day difference between what we had and what we have now, right? It's the same team, but for some reason, somehow, we're getting more production. You know, minus Teron Armstead and Tyreek Hill. Actually, it's not really the same team. A lot of those names are new. Tyreek Hill, Teron Armstead, Connor Williams, Alec Ingold. Other than that, no. Let me not discredit some of the guys. There's 4 new names. 4 new team members on there. Kader Kohu, 5. Other than that, those are still the same Dolphins. So let's say Jerome Baker, he's 30th. Landon Roberts is 62nd. But Landon Roberts is just, he's just a bull in the run game. And then Xavier Howard fell off, right? And that's a lot of things that people are like, what's going on with him? But Barry Jackson also said, just as shocking, the worst quarterback rating among against the worst can't talk right now. The worst quarterback rating for these corners is actually J.C. Jackson, who the Chargers gave a lot of money to get J.C. Jackson. So I find that very, very interesting. But yeah, let's jump into some more tidbits on the field stuff. So Austin Jackson's back. He said the two Dolphin coaches Monday declined to say if Austin Jackson would be cross-chained at left guard, where he has experience, or practice only at tackle. Jackson started the opener right tackle, missed 8 games with an ankle injury, and was active for the Cleveland game, but didn't play. It's going to be very interesting, right? Because Robert Jones has been playing well at left guard, and Shell hasn't given up a sack at right tackle in his 5 starts. So there's that continuity. They're playing with each other. They're getting used to each other. The offense and the run game is starting to pick up. And it's like, what do you do here? Because Austin Jackson can be a very good left guard. But it's like, do you throw him in there? Me personally, I would, slowly bring him in and have him play here and there and see if he does do better than Robert Jones. Because me right now, I'm not moving Shell out of right tackle. I think Shell's doing fantastic at right tackle. To me, the only spot that's available for Austin Jackson is at left guard, where he can play between Teron Armstead and Connor Williams, and I think he'll do really good there. So, like they said, they declined to say if they'll do it, but they're behind doors. They're probably throwing him over there and seeing what he can do. The Dolphins also signed former Miami Hurricanes defensive tackle RJ McIntosh to the practice squad. He was a former 5th round pick by the Giants. Just more depth there. Jamal Perry, who the Dolphins picked up a few weeks ago, is practicing both at safety and at corner, which I find very interesting. They're really trying to get the best out of moving all those guys around. So, and last thing we're going to talk about yesterday being, they asked Mike McDaniel about Byron Jones and Keon Crossan. Keon Crossan got banged up in the Cleveland game with a shoulder injury. They said, it's kind of up in the air if he'll return or not, but he also said, I've learned not to count out Keon. He's committed professional and a freak of a healer. There's just to call him a freak in nature. So those are your little tidbits and what's going on with the team. They have Texans coming in 100%, and I will talk more about this on Friday. 100,000% a trap game. This Texans game. Do not look past the Houston Texans. Do not look past them and the hard travel they have going to the West Coast. It's going to be very, very pivotal to take this win, go to 8-3, and then you have a very hard next 3 stretch game. So I'll talk about that after the Texans game. Again, don't look past the Texans. Sneak up on you. You've seen a lot of teams get snuck up on and beat when they probably shouldn't have. But after that, I will talk about the 3-game span. What's the best case, worst case scenario, and all that stuff. So the Dolphins are back, but one guy who's not back, and he gets asked about a lot, is Byron Jones, right? What the flip is going on with Byron Jones? Now, there are some misconceptions. Some people say, well, he had an Achilles injury that he's dealing with. Some people think he tore his Achilles. He did not. Byron Jones did not tear his Achilles. Byron Jones, back in March 9th, had a cleanup surgery to clean up the Achilles situation. And there are some underlining things when it comes to Byron Jones that to me seems a little fishy, right? He restructured his contract to make, more of it a signing bonus to give Dolphins more money, to make more moves, to sign more players, to get the team that we have now. Supposedly Byron wants more guaranteed money, and the reason why he got the surgery, again, these are rumors, the reason he got the surgery when he got it is so he's locked in with the Dolphins, because there is also a rumor that they were trying to move him prior to him getting the surgery on his Achilles, right? Those are rumors. You can take them or leave them. I'm giving you the information, and, do with it what you want. But there was the article that talked about when he got the surgery on March 9th, that it should only be about a 2-month thing, and he should be ready for the beginning of training camp. Well, training camp came. He's still not there. Then preseason came. Still not there. Start of the season. Starts on the pup. All right, 4 weeks, and then he could come back after 4 weeks. Tre'Davious White also hasn't returned, though. That's the other thing. And so we're like, all right, so maybe week 5, week 6, we get him back. He's still not coming back, and he's not even practicing. If he starts to practice and comes off the pup, they have 21 days to put him on the active roster and 21 days to put him in, or he goes to IR. So he's not practicing. And then they keep asking Mike McDaniel about it, and you could see that Mike McDaniel, every time he gets asked about Byron Jones, his demeanor kind of changes a little bit. Now, I did a panel Monday with Reason and Richmond Webb and Neil and Ballgame, and I don't want to miss anybody. I did a panel on Monday with Reason and Richmond Webb and a bunch of fantastic guys, and Richmond Webb talked about essentially what's going on with Byron, because some people think that Byron's making a business decision. And I put quotes because this is a horrible business decision if you are healthy to play and you're not playing. I think that's horrible, because some people think, oh, well, he's going to get cut by the Dolphins anyway, so he is sitting out on purpose, and he is slowly coming back on purpose because he's making a business decision so he can be healthy for his team and so he doesn't get banged up and all that stuff. And I think that is a horrible decision. And if that is a business decision, it's a horrible one, because his play last year wasn't fantastic. So if you're going off of that, and if you're going off of, well, he didn't play the full year, then all of a sudden that business decision is going to cost him money, because he's not going to get the same contract as if he does come back and he does ball out, and then all of a sudden the defense plays differently, and Xavier Howard plays back at his big level, and Javon Holland all of a sudden plays back at his big level, and all of a sudden the defense is thriving. All of a sudden you sit back as an opposing team and go, Byron was the missing piece. He is that good that he transferred that whole defense around, versus constantly wondering, well, is he going to play? Is he going to play? Is he going to play? And even Richmond Webb said in the panel I did that when it comes to free agency and a situation like this, say Seattle, right? I'm just throwing a team out there. Say Seattle's interested in Byron Jones, because say the Dolphins do a June 1st, post June 1st cut. If they cut him before June 1st, it's a $4 million savings. But if they wait for a post June 1st, it's a $14 million saving. So essentially what the Dolphins could do is they can cut him and designate it for June 1st, a post June 1st. And then after June 1st, boom, the Miami Dolphins get $14 million. So say that the Dolphins cut him, and now he's doing his free agency thing, and Seattle's interested in him. All right, Seattle sits down, meets with him. He goes through the physical, does really well. They ask him questions like, why didn't you play last year? You seem physically healthy. Why didn't you play? And he could say, well, this and that and blah, blah, blah. Then what Seattle does is go, okay, cool. Hey, Chris, it's blah, blah, blah from Seattle. Let me ask you a question about Byron Jones. I got a few questions about him and yada, yada. And then they ask. It's kind of like getting a new job, and they look at your resume. Can I contact your previous employers? Yeah, sure. And then they call and say, was he a POS or with this and that and blah, blah, blah. They do the same thing in free agency, especially for a guy who sits out the full year if he is healthy and able to play. So again, if this is a business decision, it is a horrible business decision, because it makes him look very bad if he is healthy, willing, and ready to go, and he is sitting out to get more money or all that stuff, because it doesn't seem that way. So I find that very interesting that some people think it's a business decision, because if it is, it's a bad one. It's a really bad business decision. But when I look at the future of the Miami Dolphins at cornerback, right, I do think that they will move on from Byron. Again, it's $14 million savings. They can use it. I think they're at about 20-something in cap space for next year, so they'll be up there around 30, which is good. You know, you can bring back your guys like Nick Needham and some of the guys, and I'll talk about this in the offseason. Who they'll bring back, how they can structure it, push the more money down the road, and yada yada, bing bang bing, to still have cap space. But But the future of the cornerback position is interesting. It's very interesting, and I'm not as worried. The Dolphins have 1 second-round pick and 2 third-round picks. You can get a very good corner or linebacker or whatever with those top 3 picks that the Dolphins have. They don't have a first, which Bradley Chubb and Tyreek Hill are definitely, those guys right now are, Tyreek Hill is worth the first, and Bradley Chubb is going to be worth the first. I'm not worried about that. But you look, the Dolphins are going to have Trill Williams back next year. They're going to have Bethel back next year. They're going to have Keon Crossan back next year. They're going to have Kader Kohu back next year. And Xavier Howard is under contract until 2024 when there is an out. So Xavier Howard will be back next year unless somehow they can cut him, move him. They can't cut him because it's a huge dead cap hit, but if they can trade him and have some type of negotiation with his new team where they take some of that dead cap hit off. But X will be back, Trill Williams, Bethel, Keon Cross, and Kader Kohu. Nick Needham is a free agent, but I'm pretty sure they'll bring him back. So the future of the cornerback position isn't that scary. We're missing Trill Williams. We're missing Nick Needham. We're missing Brandon Jones at safety. Those 3 pieces are hurting. If we had Trill Williams, Nick Needham, and Brandon Jones, I think the defense would look completely different. So I know we're constantly wondering what the flip is going on with Byron. At the end of the day, I think he'll come back. I think he'll play. I think as we get closer, maybe after the Bills game when we have a stretch at home, with the Packers, then the Patriots, then the Jets, 2 of those 3 at home. I think he will come back. I think he'll play, and I think he'll get ready for the playoffs, and I think we'll have him. But I won't be surprised if he doesn't play at all. But that's how I kind of see it playing out. I think with the West Coast trip, he probably won't travel with them, and then I think he'll practice with them before the Bills game, get ready, get the rust off, and then I think he will play against the Green Bay Packers and help the Dolphins down the stretch. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But this team is still winning without him, and that's the other thing. Again, for a business decision, this is a poor one because the team is showing they can win without him. They don't need him. But if he wants to show that the defense is better with him and get that money up and get his contract interest up, you should play, bud. But that's what I got for you today. I thought, it's Tuesday. I normally put the film breakdown out today, but they didn't play on Sunday. So I thought I'd give you guys an update on what's going on with the team and what's going on with Byron Jones, because we keep asking about him. And at the end of the day, until he plays, we don't know, because Mike McDaniel's not saying anything, and he's getting frustrated. You can see he's getting frustrated. But on that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow with the picks. Yes, the picks. It's Wednesday. I don't even know what day it is anymore. And then I got a special Thanksgiving video for you guys, giving thanks to the team, giving thanks to you guys, and all that good stuff. But other than that, like usual, stay classy. That's on top.